Hey, welcome to Beyond the Uniform. I am Justin Hess. And if you've listened to any fitness podcast or gone into any of their videos, I hear a lot in like the last, few weeks, if not months, this advice. Change your identity and become the person who's already fit. Like, don't focus on the habit of working out and eating, like focus on who you are. And here's the problem for almost everyone listening to this right now, that advice is going to set you up to fail. Not because it's wrong, but because it's like step three. And you need to start on, most people need to start on step one still. So let's get into it. Because again, every coach that I'm seeing right now, it's all about, they're trying to tell you like it's not about the workout plan. It's becoming that new person. And they're not wrong. Like identity change is real. It is important to not just focus on habits because, again, unless you lived under a rock, you know that you should be exercising more. You know, you should be eating healthy. You should be having all these habits. But yet, there's still a majority of our society who's still obese or overweight or not doing it. So they're not wrong. Like it is very powerful. That is the end goal. You want to be thinking like a fit, confident cop, a fit, confident, healthy first responder. So that identity, having that identity language is important. But almost nobody talks about how you actually get there. Like they act like you just decide, like you wake up one day and declare, like, I'm a fit person now. And even if you do that, other part of your brain's probably like, well, that's bull crap. You're not a fit, confident person, right? You've been overweight for months, years, decades. And they feel like that just manifesting or just having that identity language is just supposed to be enough. And it's not. Identity isn't just a decision, it's like a staircase. And there are steps before it that almost nobody talks about, or like laying the foundation. Don't put the cart before the horse, whatever analogy that you want to come up with. And today I'm going to walk you through all of them, like from the ground up, or if it's like a video game, starting at level 1 so you can get to level 10. So you know exactly which step that you're actually on right now and why trying to skip to the top is that exactly why you keep falling backwards. So there are 3 stages between where you are now and a true identity change. Stage 1 is habit building. Stage 2 is lifestyle. Stage 3 is identity. And each one takes longer than the one before it. And that's not a coincidence. Like each stage requires more evidence than the last one. So we're going to start at stage 1 of we're talking about like habits. Okay. A habit isn't about willpower anymore. It's automatic. And what you actually earn in this stage isn't the workout, it's building the confidence. A habit is like taking a habit, a habit is taking an action and putting enough reps until it becomes like subconscious, unconscious. Like think about driving your car. You had a lot of conscious effort first driving. And then now, I'm sure you might be driving like 20 minutes later. You just kind of forget about where you were the last 20 minutes. Now, there's different research out there, but it takes about 21 to 58 days to build a habit. So anywhere from like 3 to 8 weeks of consistency. Okay, and what's actually happening in that window is that you're doing the behavior over and over again until you can feel like that you're finally getting it right. You feel that like, hey, like I'm finally getting into I finally got into a consistent workout routine. I'm finally consistently eating my protein or my veggies and fruits, whatever it is. Here's what people miss about this stage. It's not really about the workouts themselves. What you're building is confidence. Because nothing kills your confidence like breaking your word to yourself. Like every time you say, I'm going to work out and you don't. I'm going to get on track with my eating and then, oh, no, I'll just start Monday. Like, that's like a small, like, betrayal to yourself, and that again, it almost like proves to yourself like your word doesn't matter. And that it kind of goes into your psyche of like, well, can I actually do this? And it all stacks up. But once you string together those 21 to 58 days, like you've proven to yourself at least that you can keep your promise. And that's what's the real win in stage one. But here's why most people never make it out of the starting gate. Like if your goal if your goal of whether it's losing 30 pounds, losing the gut, getting healthy, getting fit, whatever your goal is. If your goal is a nice to have instead of like a need to have, the first one, the nice to have, like you only put in the work, the workouts, the eating when you feel like it, when it's convenient, when you're motivated. But when you feel like it's a need to have, that's commitment. And then you do a lot of the workouts, even when you're not motivated, just like you're not always motivated to go to work, but you still do it. So if it's a nice to have, you just stay complacent. Like you have to, if you want to get pushed through stage one, you have to reach a point where staying the same hurts more than the discomfort of the new behavior that you're trying to do. That's what gets someone to actually start the habit and continue with it and stick with it long enough for it to become automatic. Like I remember Stu. I talked about him before, but like I've worked with him for like over 3 years. And in the first like year and a half, he'd do well for like 2 or 3 months. Like he'd be like the best student, and then he'd just completely fall off and restart over and over again. You'd lose like 10, 15 pounds. He'd start gaining some definition, and then it's like, I got to put out a bolo. Like I can't find him. And he could never really get past stage one because he never fully committed long enough to make it automatic. Then he made a real decision, like he was going to just completely eliminate alcohol because alcohol would trigger into like overeating, and then he would just lose all of his gains. And then like in 90 days, he had a 6-pack after he went sober. So something he hadn't achieved in almost like 3 years, stopping and starting, he actually accomplished in 3 months. Now, it wasn't perfect, but he had just enough consistent reps that the behavior becomes who you are without having to think about it. Now, stage 2, the make it past the habits, is the lifestyle. So like with the building habits is like you do it enough until you feel like that you can finally get it right. A lifestyle means that you know that you can't get it wrong. It doesn't matter if it's winter or summer, if it's your long week of work or your short week of work, or whether it's the weekday or the weekends, whether you're on vacation or not, like you still show up. And you can't know that about yourself in just 3 months. Like you need at least a full year of evidence. So that's why it takes about like 1 to 2 years to make it a lifestyle, or average 18 months. You can see results in 3 months, but with every season on the calendar, it can present different changes. And I think that's where I've had people lose like 30, 40 pounds in 4 months. And so going to the stage 2 program, my phase 2 program, they decided to just keep trying it on their own. And then like a year later, I continue to keep communication because I want to see how they're doing. They put on 15 pounds. Because the thing is that like they felt like just building habits was enough. They felt like they had a transformation. While you see progress, I don't think it's a transformation. But like I said, like a lifestyle you feel like you can't get rid. It doesn't matter what season it is. Like you still get your workouts in, even if it's your long week of work. You still follow by most of your eating plan, even when you're on vacation. Sure, you can have a little bit of ice cream, or you can have a few more drinks, but like you still, for the most part, stay on track with your eating. Okay. But again, you need to do this for 1 to 2 years or 18 months. Why so long? Because again, you need more reps, you need more evidence against all these different circumstances that happen throughout the year to prove that you can do it. Maybe you're someone where like summer means that kids are home or more vacations, more barbecues. Maybe your fall gets busy because of football season or whatever it is. Maybe like winters are busier for you because of hot. I don't know, like with your kids. But like you need to go through a full calendar year multiple times to know the lifestyle actually holds up, not just like for a couple months. So you need to like put in the reps. All right. And in the last stage, in the stage three, and then this is where it's kind of like that middle zone with the danger zone between stage 2 and 3 is this boundary, what we can call the valley of despair. Because right around this stage, or even sometimes for some people, it's between stage 1 and stage 2. I'd say it's more of that. You have this valley of despair. And this is where most people get stuck, not because that they failed, but because they just stopped climbing. What happens is that you may hit your first big goal and they accomplish something that you've been chasing, and you reach the mountaintop, like you reached your goal. Instead of setting like a new mountain to climb, a bigger mountain to climb, you just get comfortable with this first goal that you accomplished. And then you slide into like maintenance, like I'm just going to maintain here. And maintenance doesn't have that same fire of that pursuit that it has like when you started, when you felt like you were in the valley, like when you were first started your journey, feeling all that pain of being overweight, the gut, feeling insecure. Or, you hit the valley of despair because there's a new season hits. Again, different time of year and the calendar changes. And instead of just treating that season as one more rep they need or one more piece of evidence to prove the lifestyle holds, they just use it as a justification. Well, it's the holidays. Well, summer's just busy with the kids, and they just slide backwards. So it isn't failure, but it's a pause. And the people who get through it are the ones who set a new mountain, set bigger goals, or who treat the hard season as proof, not an excuse. And then you can go into like stage 3, which is the identity. Now, identity just isn't something that you just declare. I don't know. I think of when I hear the word declare, I think of The Office, where Michael Scott just declared bankruptcy. Well, that doesn't work, Michael. It does. I declared it. You can't just declare identity. It's something you acclimate, like the same way as like a college degree takes 4 years, not because the material is that hard, but because like you need that much time stacking evidence and to learn and to go through more reps. So once the lifestyle is truly proven, you've gone at least a year, sometimes 2, of holding up all the circumstances, then you can move into identity. This is where you are not just managing a habit anymore. You are that person. Fit isn't something that you're just doing. I'm just not doing workouts. I'm not just eating healthy. It's who you are. It's like, I am a fit athlete. I'm a tactical athlete. I'm a fit, confident person. And this is the part that surprises people. Like a real identity shift can take 3 to 4 years. Again, just like college, right? Or high school. It takes 4 years, like not because any single class again was overly impossible, because you need all of those reps, all of that training that may complete a goal stacked on top of each other without getting complacent in between. And this is why it can be so hard for someone who's been obese for years, even decades, to just decide that they're a fit person and that they have an identity change. They don't have all that stacked evidence. It's not that they're lying to themselves. Like I tell my students, like, I guess an identity trick you can do is if like just think about like what would a fit, confident person do right now when the alarm clock goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning to do their workout? Would they hit the snooze button or would they go do the workout? What would a fit, confident person do about you? Would they eat the cake at their friend's retirement party? Would they eat the cake or would they just say like, hey, I'm going to enjoy the retirement party and I don't need to eat the cake? But so you can do that, but again, like you can't just lie to yourselves. Like there has to be they haven't built enough evidence for themselves to prove that they are a fit, confident person. You can't believe something about yourself that you haven't proven to yourself over and over for years. Like that's not pessimism. Like that's just how identity actually works. Like I'll use myself here. Like I don't say this to brag. Like I say it because I've lived every stage of this. Like the habit stage, lifestyle stage, that took me through multiple years, different seasons of my life before, I met my wife and then after, my college years and then my first job and then becoming a parent and then being a cop during George Floyd and then like fitness while also being a business owner. Like I've been through like many different stages. But fitness it just isn't something I do. It's who I am. Not because I decided like one day, but because I've got years of evidence behind it. Like thousands of workouts that I've done now. That's not the only way. That's the only way I know that it's real. And then no matter what the circumstances are, I will find a way because that's what athletes or a fit, confident person does. So now, wherever you are, whether you're stuck in stage one at the habit, or if you feel like you're stuck in the stage two of the lifestyle and you can't make it to stage three of the identity, you feel like you're in the valley of despair, I got some action steps for you. So, number one, you need to ask better questions. Like most people get stuck because they're asking vague questions. Like, why am I not motivated? Like that's not a real question. It doesn't like lead you anywhere. Like better questions build actual problem solving skills. What specifically is getting in the way of my workout at 5 a.m.? What would need to be true for me to actually want to do this? When I say that I want to feel confident or what does that look like or feel like? When I say I want to be healthy, what does that even mean? Like specific questions remove specific obstacles. Vague questions just create more vague frustration and you can't solve a vague problem. Number two, set clear, exciting, measurable goals. Like your goal needs to feel like a new mountain. And if we use an analogy, like you gotta create a gap between where you are and where you want to be. And the bigger the gap, not from like a defeating standpoint, but like from an exciting standpoint. Something that you can actually measure. Something a little outside your comfort zone. It needs to be that visible gap. And if there's no gap, there's no growth. The goal doesn't excite you a little bit, it won't pull you through the hard days. And number three, you need to look at past successes objectively to build your confidence. Now, this is the one that people skip. You look back at things you've actually accomplished. Not to feel good for a second, but to build real evidence to like, hey, like you can do this. You've already proven that you can follow through on, doing your workouts. Somewhere in your life, you can look at it objectively And even if it's outside of like fitness, like you've probably like you can take successes in other areas of your life, work, family, whatever, and put that into your fitness. What that tells you is that you are capable. All you need is just consistency. You don't need more information, not more motivation. You just need more reps. So you've been chasing an identity shift and it's keeping you stuck. It's not because you're broken, but it's because you tried to maybe skip steps on a staircase that you can't skip. So you don't need, like right now, depending upon where you are in your journey, you don't need to become a new person today. You need to complete the stage that you're actually in. Build a habit, just take action. Like just start something small, like just go complete the workout that you've been putting off. Go drink the water that you've been putting off. Go follow the eating plan. And just stack one good day on another and another and another. You do it enough times that you can prove it that's a lifestyle, and then the identity will carry itself. But just take action. Start something small. And if you don't know where to start, like the food side of this, especially, I built something for you. It is my Cop Gut Fix course. It walks you through exactly how to build a habit that actually sticks. I show you exactly what you should be putting on your plate, having some different theme nights so that way you don't have to have this, what am I going to have for dinner, crisis, and how to make and survive through shift work without having to run to the gas station every time or fast food. So if you want those that free course, if you want those free meal strategies and the workout plans, just comment or DM me the words Cop Gut Fix. You can message me on Instagram or Facebook and I'll send you the link. It's no catch, it's for free. So once again, don't skip steps on the staircase. Just take action, one small step at a time. Be committed to it through the hard days and the hard seasons. You can take action during the hard days and hard weeks. You can certainly take action on the easy weeks. You do that enough times, you will become that new person that you desire to be. Again, comment or DM me the word Cop Gut Fix if you want that free course. And I'll see you all next week.